All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on how one of the biggest names in finance, Morgan Stanley, is building out its game plan for the future of digital assets. We're going to walk through their blueprint, straight from the source.
So where do we even begin? Well, it all starts with this number right here, $8 trillion. That is the sheer scale of Morgan Stanley's wealth management platform. And you have to understand, that single number shapes every single move they make in the crypto space.
Okay, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at what makes Morgan Stanley such a unique beast in this space. Then, how they're actually letting their clients in. After that, we'll dive into the digital fortress they're building, their big ideas on tokenization, and finally, where they see this all heading. Let's get into it.
All right, first up, to really get what Morgan Stanley is doing, you have to understand that they're just a different kind of bank. You see, while a lot of their peers are all about retail banking, checking accounts, loans for regular folks, Morgan Stanley's whole world revolves around one thing: wealth management. So when they think about crypto, they're not really thinking about you buying coffee with it. No, they are laser-focused on their investor clients and that $8 trillion they manage. And we're not just talking about one type of investor. This platform covers the entire spectrum. I mean, you've got the self-directed traders on E-Trade, which, by the way, they own. Then you have their mainstream clients, all the way up to the ultra-high net worth individuals and massive family offices. They basically got a direct line to every single type of investor out there.
So, okay, you've got this massive, diverse client base. What's the first step? Well, you have to build really clear, really easy, and most importantly, trusted on-ramps for them to get into the crypto world.
And they're basically doing this in three main ways. First up, you can now do spot crypto trading on E-Trade. That means you're buying the actual Bitcoin, the actual Ether. Second, they're offering exchange-traded products, or ETPs. Think of these like a stock, but instead of tracking a company, it tracks the price of something like Bitcoin. Super simple. And third, and this is pretty cool, they're letting clients take the crypto they already own and deposit it directly into those products. It's all about bringing everything under their roof. And here's the key thing to remember. This whole strategy, it's not some science project happening in a back room. This is a direct response to a massive wave of demand from their own clients. People are calling their advisors, they're asking questions, they want in. Morgan Stanley is just building the pipes to make it happen. But just giving people access isn't enough. Not for a brand like Morgan Stanley. They have to do it their way, which means building, well, a digital fortress of trust and security. And this quote right here from their head of digital asset strategy, it says it all. She says people expect Morgan Stanley to be no fail. That's a huge promise. And because of that, she says they can't just rent some outside tech to do this. They have to own it. They are building their own custody, their own exchange solutions right from scratch. So why go through all that trouble? Why build it all themselves? Well, it's about giving clients that ultimate peace of mind, knowing that Morgan Stanley, the company they trust, is the one legally holding their assets. It's not just about beefing up security either. It's about creating this perfectly smooth, integrated foundation so they can build all sorts of cool future services right on top of it.
And that brings us to the really exciting part, the long-term game plan. Once you have all those assets sitting securely on your platform, what's the next logical step? Of course, it's offering things like yield and lending services against that Bitcoin. It's a natural and, frankly, a really powerful move.
Now, this isn't just about currencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Morgan Stanley is looking at something even bigger, a technology that could totally change what it means to own something. And that technology is tokenization.
So, what on earth is asset tokenization? It sounds complicated, but the idea is actually pretty simple. You're basically taking the rights to a real-world asset, like a piece of real estate, a fine art painting, or even shares in a private startup, and you're converting those rights into a digital token that lives on a blockchain. This makes it way easier to manage, trade, and even borrow against.
And look, this isn't just some tech fantasy. This matters because it solves actual nagging problems for clients. We're talking about stripping out mountains of paperwork and administrative headaches. It means you could trade assets 24/7, not just when the market is open. And it could open the door for regular investors to get a piece of private deals that were previously only for the super rich.
Okay, so what about digital dollars or stablecoins? Well, their position here is brutally simple and clear. They're basically saying, look, if digital money is going to be a thing, we'll be there, we don't have a choice. They're not trying to predict the future, they're just getting ready for it, no matter what it looks like. So where is all of this headed? What does it all build towards? Well, everything we've talked about so far, the ETPs, the custody, that's just laying the foundation. The future they see is way more active and sophisticated.
If you look at the crypto market today, it's pretty much dominated by these simple, passive products. You buy a thing and you hope it goes up. But Morgan Stanley sees that changing, and fast. The next wave is going to look a whole lot more like the traditional finance world, with advanced, actively managed investment funds.
So what does that actually mean? It means we're going to see things like actively managed crypto funds with portfolio managers making buy and sell decisions. It means we'll see separately managed accounts, or SMAs, which are basically like having your own private, professionally managed crypto portfolio. And it means high-end advisory services that weave digital assets right into a client's total financial picture. Essentially, crypto is graduating from the kids' table and becoming just another serious asset class.
And so this whole blueprint, right, from the secure custody all the way to this vision for tokenization, it really leads us to one big provocative question. As these absolute giants of finance finish building this institutional superhighway into the crypto world, is it just a matter of time before pretty much every single investor has some kind of allocation? Something to think about.